Hey everybody, this is Christian, and welcome to the first episode of The Trench. So what is the trench? In World War I, soldiers lived, breathed, ate, and often died in trenches alongside other soldiers. Those trenches were intended to offer protection from the bullets of enemies, giving soldiers a safe place in an otherwise very dangerous world. But can you imagine what it would actually be like to be stuck in the same trench day after day with the same people, being afraid for your life, having to deal with a war, when all of a sudden you realize you can't stand the way the guy next to you is chewing his food anymore? Wouldn't you think that the soldiers would start to get a little frustrated with one another? And instead of dealing with the enemy that was outside of the trench, they would bring the fight inside the trench and start fighting amongst themselves. They would get distracted from the real battle by having to deal with the petty battles between them. Doesn't that sound a whole lot like having a family? Or friends? Or going to work? Or having to go to church? Or when you're driving to the mall and you're looking for that perfect parking space that's both close to the door and in the shade, and it's really frustrating because you've already turned on your turn signal, and just as you're about to turn in there, somebody comes right in front of you and takes your parking spot. And so you come up with all kinds of names to express how righteously angry you are. Rapscallion! Judas Iscariot! You are by far the worst human being in the history of human beings, and you just really wish that you could. You know what I'm talking about? As Christians, each of us is deeply involved in a battle against the evil one and the powers of darkness, and he wants to distract us from that battle by turning us against one another. He likes it when you yell at anonymous strangers, and he likes it even more when you yell at the people you live with. This is why Father Thomas Hopko included this as one of his 55 maxims. Be polite with everyone. First of all, family members. And he said that because it's hard to do, but it's essential for Christians because we're called to fight alongside one another, not with one another, because we're all fighting the same enemy. We're all fighting the same battle. We're all in the trench. But how often do we take the trench, the church, our relationships, and turn them into places of arguments and fear instead of acceptance and love? The trenches are where soldiers sought protection. So should our relationships be for us. So this, the trench, is going to be devoted to just that, helping find ways to make sure our relationships thrive. Because as Christians, our relationships are more than where we just learn really important things like you can't call women fat. You can't take that toy. It's his, and that it really is just common courtesy to call somebody back after they call you, especially if they keep calling you and calling you. But at the same time, they need to understand that it's not that you don't want to talk to them, it's just that you have a 3-month-old baby and I'm super busy, Mom. I should call my mom. No, for Christians, our relationships are the context in which we work out our salvation, learning to love others as Christ loves us. After all, Christ said, "By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." But the enemy doesn't want us to love one another. He doesn't want the world to see our love for each other. And so he distracts us by getting us involved in all these petty arguments and holding grudges so that we're too busy to follow Christ's loving example. And that's why in the trench we're going to devote ourselves to exploring all kinds of different relational roles and skills, all through the lens of being a Christian. And we're going to explore different kinds of relationships. What it means to be a father, what it means to be a friend, and we'll even explore some different aspects of relationships, like what we hope will happen in relationships, what makes them work, what makes them fail, or relational skills like how to ask a girl out. If you want to know, I figured it out. Relationships surround us in just about everything that we do and everywhere that we go, and too often we don't take them seriously enough. And since we're all in this great battle together, I kind of want to think about the trench like a boot camp for relationships, although we're not going to be doing much physical training. So I guess it's more like a day camp. I want to think of this as a day camp for relationships. We're all in this crazy mix together, and we're all involved in a war against the enemy of our souls, whether we realize it or not. We need to stop arguing and blaming each other and start learning to love each other instead. We need to remember who the enemy really is, and it's time to start getting along better with the others in the trench.
What? What time